Hello everyone, myself Dr. Shubh Arora. Once again, I welcome you all back to the lecture series of the subject Marketing Management. Today we'll be starting the second unit. In our previous lecture, we finished our first unit, which was related to the introduction part of marketing management subject, and today we'll be starting the second unit, which will be covering the topic product levels and product mix. So first of all, let's discuss about the product levels. See, as you can see in the figure, there are basically, when we talk about product levels, there are 4 different levels of products, right? And in between is the core benefit. So when we talk about the core benefit, it is basically what core benefits will the customers get, right, in from the product or service which they will purchase in exchange of money, right? So the 4 main product levels or layers are generic product, expected product, augmented product, and the potential product. So first is the core benefit. So when we talk about the core benefit, I just briefed you that it basically includes that a brand has to identify that what are the needs and wants of the consumers which can be satisfied once they consume the product, right? And how will they get the product for consuming? They'll be getting the product from the marketers, right? So marketers have to basically keep in mind while producing and supplying the product in the market that the product should be appropriate and should be framed or produced as per the requirements of the so that the needs and wants of the consumers can be satisfied, right? Then we talk about the first product level, that is the generic, or also called as the basic product level. So when we talk about this includes that the product version, whatever product you are selling, it should be at least or that product should include at least those features which would be called as the basic features. That means a basic product where no kind of advanced technology is used, or it does not contains any extra add-on benefits, but all the necessary functions which are required to be present in a basic product, right, or in a generic product, those all basic requirements should be there in the product which you are selling in the market, so that at least the basic requirements of a consumer who is just thinking and buying the product just for the need and is not expecting something extra from the product, so all the basic necessities and important requirements can be fulfilled. So in that we talk about the basic product. Now we talk about the second type of product, that is the expected. So when we talk about the expected, that product should include a set of attributes or some kind of characteristic features that buyers normally expect. So basically the product which you are selling in the market should be as per the expectations of the customers, right? Like if we talk about, they have given you an example that there are certain things which are very obvious, right, when you purchase a product, right? So those obvious attributes should be there in the product. That is why those obvious attributes should be there, because that is the but natural thing and but expected thing which a marketer has to keep in mind while producing the product and selling the product in the market, because a consumer, a seller should be very well aware that this is the bottom line which I have to sell, that is the basic. Then above the bottom line, these can be the minimum bare expectations of my consumers from the product I am selling. So the basic requirement should be there, that is the first product level or the product layer. Then second is the expected product, at least the minimum expectations which the customer is expecting from the product, from the money the consumer is paying, those attributes should be present in the product. Then the next is augmented, that means now here comes is that apart from the basic or the minimum bare level or the expectations of the consumers, here comes the responsibility of the marketer now to think on some kind of add-ons or add-on benefits. Like sometimes you see that there are certain offers that if you pay 500 rupees extra or you add 999, so you can gain the benefit of or if you take this plan and ready to pay 199 or 499 extra, you can get a subscription of for example Amazon Prime for 1 year, for 6 months, right? Or you can pay 500 rupees extra and you can get add on warranty for this product for another 1 year, that is the extended warranty kind of thing. So these are certain add on benefits or features or characteristics which can be added in the product or service by the seller, right? And why these add on benefits or features are required? In order to differentiate your product or differentiate your brand from the others in the eyes of consumers, right? From other competitors, right? So basically beating the competition. Certain strategies can be used when the marketer will think about the augmented product, right? So, and you can also sometimes use certain add-on benefits at no extra cost. Like you can try to attract the consumer by saying that you don't have to pay anything extra for next 6 months and you can avail the benefit of this, right? So why don't you register for this? So all these basically strategies can be used. Now we come to the last one, that is the potential product. So this includes all the transformations and augmentations a product must have in future. So here the marketer is thinking about what my product should have for future, right? So and why this is required, why a marketer has to think about the future aspect also? Because the marketer is thinking about the long term, and when the marketer is thinking about long term, definitely marketer wants to win the customer, that is the customer loyalty, makes the customer loyal toward its brand or the business, right? So definitely when we talk about potential product, in order to win the customer or customer loyalty, the marketer now here has to make the customer feel delighted, right? Or give certain surprises to the customer, so that these surprises or making the customer happy can build good relations with the customers, and you can win the customer for a longer period of time, right? So for example, they have given you is that a customer receives an ongoing image process software upgrade, so getting free upgrades or new versions free of cost, right, with new additional features, right? So when you as a consumer, you are not expected or you are not paying extra and you are getting an upgraded version with new features, with added features, so definitely you will be happy and you will be a loyal customer for that particular brand. So these were the 5 product levels which we have just discussed. I'll just show you the image once again. You can just have a look. In between is the core benefit, then generic or the basic, then expected, augmented, inclusive, add-on benefits, and potential is the future, when the marketer is thinking or planning about adding something for winning the consumer for a future, from future aspects, right? So this was all about product levels. Next we'll talk about product mix. See, we had studied in the first unit about marketing mix, which included 4 P's, namely product, price, place and promotion. These 4 P's are related to product, and I also mentioned that 4 P's are extended to the 7 P's. That means it includes 3 more P's which are related to services, that is people, process and physical evidence. Here we'll talk about the product mix. So basically we are focusing on the first element of the marketing mix, that is we'll be talking about the first P, product mix. So when we talk about product mix, it includes certain kind of product assortment, how products are assorted by an organization, right? So different here we'll talk about the variety or the range of products which a same brand sells. So when a same brand is dealing in different product lines or different variety of products, different ranges of products, so that makes it product mix, right? You can just have a look in this figure. See, in black boxes there are different product lines. I'll just, in following slides, I'll show you some examples also which will make you more clear about these product lines, then product width, product length and product depth. So basically 4 terms are there. Product lines are 3 different ranges in which the products are being sold, right? For example, if I talk about hair care products and skin care products, so hair care is a different product line and skin care is a different product line, right? Then product depth is when we divide a particular product line into different categories, right? So basically segmentation or categorization of a single product line into different categories is called as product depth, right? When we talk about the product width, it includes product width includes how many product lines the company is dealing in, right? So number of product lines when collectively counted would frame the product width. Number of ranges or categories in a single product line will be called as the product depth, right? And the entire range, which includes product line, product width, product depth, that will be the product length, right? So you can have a look, what do we mean by product mix? The width, right? The first dimension in product mix, the width, it refers to the number of product lines, right? You can just have a look here, product width, the green bracket you can see. So product width is the number of product lines a company has to offer, right? For example, they are saying a company is dealing with soft drinks and juices. So soft drink is one product line and juices is product line 2, right? Okay, now we come to the length part. When we talk about the length part, it includes or can be defined as the product mix refers to the total number of products in the mix, right? When we talk about the entire range of products, so if a company deals in 5 particular product lines and every product line has 10 varieties of product, right? So 5 product lines and each product line has 10 variety of products. So 5 into 10 it goes to 50. So the length of that particular product will be called as 50, right? Next we come to is the depth. When we talk about the depth, it includes the total number of products within a product line. When we talk about depth, the different varieties in every product line, so depth will be calculated based on the different varieties covered under each product line, right? For example, they have said that Colgate has different varieties. So Colgate is the product line and we talk about the varieties, and when we are going to check the depth of the product line named Colgate, so the variety would be like Colgate Advanced, some kind of Ayurvedic, herbal, Colgate Active Salt. So these would be the depth, right? Then we talk about the consistency. See, when we talk about the consistency, this basically means what kind of close relationship exists between different product lines. For example, if an organization is selling milk, one product line is selling milk and the second product line deals in yogurt, so definitely both are milk products, dairy products, so there is a consistency, there is a relationship between these 2 product lines, right? So definitely the consistency for these 2 product lines would be high, right? Whereas if an organization in product line 1 is selling cosmetics, in product line 2 selling dairy products, and product line 3 if I talk about products related to medicines, right? So consistency would be low, right, in all these, between all these 3 product lines. Why? Because the relationship or the relation or the nature of products dealing in all these 3 different product lines would be totally different, right? So definitely if the products are alike, then the consistency will be high. If the products are different, the product lines are different, then the consistency would be low, right? Here you can have have a look on some kind of examples, like they have mentioned ITC 4 product lines. One is food, second is cigarettes, third is lifestyle retailing, and the fourth is education and stationery. So all 4 product lines are different, so consistency would be very low. Then every product line is again divided, right? So you can see the product depth here, like foods. The categories which ITC in food line would be Kitchen of India or Ashirvad or Sunfeast. These are the depth. Then cigarette is Gold Flake, Classic, India King. So this is how the ITC product lines, 4 kinds of product lines are further divided. This is how this product depth can be seen. Then now you can see how the Kitchen of India, that is the first depth element of foods, the first depth element of the very first product line of ITC foods is again further divided, right? Then, so these were some of the examples. Now I just briefed you. You can have a look what do we exactly mean by product line. So a company at one single time can deal with different product lines, right? So for example, Amul. So Amul can deal with milk, yogurt, right? So a series of close related products can be sold. So product lines are basically can be understood as an array of related products under a specific brand offered by a particular company to its customers, right? Then here again they have I've tried to show you in a figure that what do we exactly mean by product line. So here this company has tried to group related products which those products are being sold under a single brand. Like product line is one is hair care and the other is skin care. So hair care is one product line and skin care is other. So in hair care it will include some kind of products related to hair, like hair wax, hair gel, shampoos, etc. Right? When we talk about skincare, it might include face cream, body cream, moisturizers, hand creams, right? So this is how we would define product lines. Now let's understand what do we mean by the topic product strategy. See, we all know what is a strategy. Strategy is something when an organization tries to plan or strategize, use some kind of strategies, use some kind of tactics. Some planning is done in advance, that how business can be done, how the business can be, what all factors would depend on growing the business, or how the business can be started, developed, expanded, right? So some kind of tactics are used, right? So whenever a new product is launched in the market, it is very difficult for an organization to forecast that what would be the response of the consumers regarding your business or regarding the products you are selling in the market, right? So definitely to show a particular direction, a firm has to use certain strategies related to its products, right? So the brands have to design a product strategy, because these strategies help the organizations in deciding that what are the main elements of a product, like what marketing mix can be used, right, in the product strategy, as a product strategy, so that the products can be expanded, the variety of products can be expanded, or the sales volume can be increased, right? Then these product strategies also help in targeting the product to the right segment, then product line, stretching it, etc., right? So basically product strategy is required by an organization to increase the sales volume, to penetrate in the market, right, and to frame the marketing mix in such a way so that the product which is new in the market can get good response from the market. Then why it is important? It is important. Market or product strategy is important because it helps to take the product in the right direction through different strategies. So basically strategies are based on planning. When you plan for something, you get direction, right? So these product strategies help the product in going the right direction. Then it also helps the companies to prepare themselves for the response by the the response which they'll get from the competitors, right? Then it also helps the companies to decide the target market. Companies while framing the product strategy can also think about can also focus on what is my target market, on whom I have to focus, right? So basically these all are some of the significant points which are related to product strategy. So that's all for today's class. We have started the second unit today, and it was the lecture 1 of second unit, and we have done product levels, product mix, and product strategy. These 3 topics have been covered in today's lecture. We'll be covering the further topics of second unit in the following lectures. Thank you so much. Take care.